world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club.
Man, what the hell is this, man?
Breakfast Club, bitches.
I'm glad they put y'all together. Y'all are like a mega force. Y'all just took over every...
Wake your punk ass up.
This Chris Brown. I've officially joined the Breakfast Club. Say something, mother...
I'm with it.
The world's most dangerous morning show. Breakfast Club, bitches.
Everybody, is DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
One of the funniest, smartest I know, but boy, this man dangerous.
What you mean, David? You got a gun on him or something?
Corey Holcomb.
What's up, y'all?
Corey actually thinks Barack Obama is gay.
Yeah.
What?
Well, he speaks up for gay rights more than he speaks up for black people. Do you disagree? I don't
know about that.
I don't want to put y'all on the spot. I don't dislike Obama as a man. I just wish he'd come out with it and let it be known. Because like when he gave the one kid, Jason Collins, all that dap for coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
So you think he should stand up for us niggers?
Should have given him dap for being black.
I think you should definitely, especially if you're a black president, you need to speak up more on what's going on with the injustices that's happening out there on the street.
That's interesting because Michael Eric Dyson had a whole take on that as well, though.
He said, Michael Eric Dyson said that when you're black, you have to speak up less for black people.
Oh, you feel like that?
Because that's what they expect you to do.
Well, I don't know if that's how you...
That's not exactly how you worded it, but...
No, what's going on? This is what it is, man. Most people in a situation where if they say what's on the heart, you can be in trouble with your job. And nobody wants to be out of work. You know, you've been busting your ass for years, so it's really a cold game the way they got it set up. A lot of people are trained not to speak their mind about certain things. And what could you do? Because I don't want to get you fired, but at the same time, there's a lot going on where in my opinion, we can't really worry about that anymore.
That's what Michael said. Michael said that Hillary and guys like Bernie could do more for black people because if they go in there pushing an agenda for black people, it won't be looked at as, oh, you just doing that because you're black.
Because let's keep it real, Obama had a lot of resistance within his own.
Like they wasn't going to let him just be the black president for black people.
They wouldn't pass any bills he was trying to present.
Like sometimes when things happen, I feel like, well, Barack should be standing right there. And he's not there. And you'd be like, but damn, he's our president.
This word president, that's imaginary. I mean, he's scared to say what's on his mind about everything because, look, the guy gets arrested in his own house for burglary. I forgot that guy's name, some educated man. And Barack has some beer gathering at the White House with the police officer. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, when they drunk on the lawn and drink a beer.
Yeah, well, after that one, the officer who arrested that man in his house, the black man.
You should have had to be with the man who got arrested.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, that let me know right there. Barack set the example of weakness. You're gonna have a beer at the White House with this cop who arrested this man in his house for burglary? Come on, man. That's weak. That's weak. And I don't expect everybody to say what I say, but I'm my own boss, so.
Corey, if you were president, what are some of the first things you would do?
I would try to separate black people from the rest of the world, especially the ones here in America, so we can get ourselves together because integrated in this society, I don't believe we'll ever get ourselves together.
You want to segregate ourselves?
Yeah, man, because we need to sit down. We need to have this ultimate group meeting. Like, hey, leave that alone. Let's begin, start from scratch, and build our thing up. That's just my opinion.
Now, Corey, sometimes I go on World Star, and I don't want to be around these niggas.
I get it. I get it. Listen, man, I go back home. I'm going back home to Chicago this weekend, man, and I know what you're saying. Because even though these are my people, these are my cousins, it's rough. But we can't turn our back on them because people like us, man, we're in a position where we got a voice.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I was proud of you. You went on that show with the one girl.
Oh, Tommy Loren, on the Blaze.
What up, Airhead? You were trying to explain to her who the Black Panthers were, but she didn't like what you were saying.
Yeah, even though I was dealing with facts.
She made the truth into her feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, so you're just going to act like he didn't say this? You're going to act like the Black Panthers are a terrorist group because who told you that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, in this society we live in, man, I'm just saying, man, somebody's got to be bold enough to stand up and say what it is. And if it's me, if I get blackballed, I can handle it because I'm a hustler. I'm going to find a way anyway.
I always say this about Corey. I'm like, I don't know how Corey get all the TV looks he get.
Hey, man.
Like, God must be with Corey.
No,
Corey...
I'm going to tell you what it is, Charlamagne. It's a lot of people who think like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm crazy. I say a lot of wild, out of pocket stuff, but they can see through the madness, and they give you opportunities.
Kind of like a lot of people think like Donald Trump.
I was gonna say that, so you might like Donald Trump because he's
like
he's
the
honest too.
He's speaking from the heart, and a lot of these guys,
a lot of people feel like
they don't have what it takes to speak from the heart. Whether it be somebody who's speaking negatively or positively, when you're speaking from the heart, I think people recognize that because the truth is attractive. But we avoid the truth just because we want to stay politically correct. Right. And bottom line, keep our jobs.
You don't care for abortions too much either. You give girls hell when they get an abortion.
I'm a real hypocrite when it comes to abortion.
Why is that?
Because he'll send you to get one.
Yeah,
oh boy.
But I can't go in the abortion clinic no more because everybody knows me. Like, I don't want to.
How many times have you gone in?
He'll be on Instagram like on Snapchat. I see Corey Holcomb at the abortion clinic.
I stopped counting. The abortion clinics, man. Everybody wants to take selfies now. You don't want to take selfies with that Planned Parenthood sign behind you. It throws off everything you're trying to do.
That is true. It's funny. I went to the doctor the other day.
That's funny. You went
just
where?
To get my annual checkup.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, man, I'm in the doctor's office. People probably going to think something's wrong with me.
They'll lie.
I'm like, I'm just trying to have a regular, but I did think about that.
This one girl who I went to the abortion clinic with back in the day, she was mad because I got a lot of attention at the abortion clinic. She was jealous
that
everybody.
Taking pictures with people?
Yeah, she was sitting there looking like this, and I was taking the selfies back then.
It's an awkward time. She's getting an abortion and you're taking selfies with other people waiting to get abortions.
It's an awkward time to take a selfie.
I think the worst selfie would be right after she comes out of the recovery room, get that picture with her.
What if she would have said, I didn't know you was just popping, I'm going to keep it.
Dang. Guy's crazy.
Well, let me tell you something about wisdom. Wisdom is very important when you're dating. You have to date women who need you. And I'm not talking about need you in a way like, oh, I could do without right now and wait for this child support check. There's a lot of girls out there where if they're pregnant and you dangle some money in their face, if she real broke, you don't really need to dangle a lot of money. It was this one girl. I knew she was starving because I went to her house and I saw the poverty.
Crazy.
I saw the poverty. It was the street.
I
saw the
poverty. What did poverty look like?
It was pretty bad. The couch with the dip in it.
Okay.
That TV that's still big in the back.
Still got the big
it don't make you feel bad, all that money you had to spend.
What? I don't have a lot of money like that. I'm broke.
Poverty don't turn you off though?
Poverty lets me know that I have bargaining chips in this situation.
Yeah, that's one of your rules. What's your number one rule? Don't give hope to nobody you doing better than.
Well, I'm saying if you date these girls that do not need your little $500 you offer, you're in trouble. Deal with girls who need you, man. You're in a better position, man.
My goodness. All right, keep it locked. We got more with Corey Holcomb when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Comedian Corey Holcomb. Now,
what was Valentine's Day like for you?
Valentine's Day is the worst holiday in the world for everybody because couples argue unless you kiss ass all day. Like, women expect you, even though they know they're not your real girl, they expect you to call them on Valentine's Day. And I think that we need to have like a class in college for fatherless chicks who think they're supposed to get a call on Valentine's Day. I don't appreciate the side chicks calling on Christmas, being phony. I just want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. Like, you trying to take my family from me. What are you talking about? What is this? I'm just saying.
Now, we had TK Kirkland up there, and he was talking. He actually said Kevin Hart wasn't funny. You worked
and he said all comedians know that.
Yeah, I don't want to take him out of context. He said that Kev's not funny on the stage. He said he think Kev funny in movies, Kev funny on TV. He said he just don't find him funny as a stand-up comedian.
Right.
I mean, just keeping it real, it's a lot of guys who are very envious of the homie Kevin, man.
That's a fact.
Kevin has found a way to become Superman out here in the game, and it's a lot of guys.
It's more than one of them, bro. It's got to be more than one Kevin Hart.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like a lot of comics chase other comics' careers. Oh, I'm supposed to have that. No, where's yours at? That's what I would say if somebody was talking bad about Kevin, especially TK. TK been around the block. He had a lot of opportunities, and, he'll never say, I blew a lot of opportunities being cutthroat. I mean, the guy was at Eddie Murphy's house and did scummy things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you admitted all that up here.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so what do you want? No, everybody who talks to you, going to talk to you like this. You know what I'm saying? I got to watch you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if he said that in front of me, I would take up for Kevin. Mm-hmm. That don't mean I dislike TK Kirkland because TK Kirkland, he's talked bad about me before, but I'm not going to see him. Hey, man, I heard you talking bad about me. I walk up to him, man, what's wrong? What did I do? Because I think TK Kirkland, talently, is a pioneer.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't never take away. He was the first man I heard call women bitches on stage. And I was like, is he getting away with this?
Call him a bitch and then make him ask questions.
Yeah.
Like they're not even offended. They want to know, why am I a bitch?
And then cheer for him after.
Yeah. Now, you tweeted out, pick one. Rich fat bitch who wear flip-flops a lot, or broke bad bitch with 5 kids and the pussy hang like a Jordan tongue.
Why is that your choice?
Pick one.
Like, where were you?
Well, sometimes you have to make choices like that.
What's your pick?
You should be at those spots. Where were you?
Have you ever done a show in like Flint, Michigan or something like that? There's not a lot of good choices, man. And I'm not drinking the water. I'm thirsty and thirsty.
Too soon. You got some issues in Flint right now.
I'm double thirsty in Flint. Hey, Flint, I'm joking with y'all.
Yeah, please.
You know, it
clean
was some
that
toe
up.
up holes out there.
Now, you also said keep your side bitch in a position where your woman kind of remind her that he leaves you in the streets and holds it down at home. Prioritize your hoes.
Right. I mean, a lot of guys who I know who got money, they have done things for their side chicks that I feel like is what you should never buy a side chick a car. I don't care how rich you are.
Yeah.
That's insane. And I know some guys who got money, so they just buy a girl a car. That's stupid. You taking her out the game.
Condos, they get them cars.
That ain't fair.
Some guys have had the same side chick for like 20 years.
That's right. Some girls are better as side chicks. But I know we need to put a salary cap on side chicks.
What about being a side dude for you, though?
Of course, everybody wants to be the side dude.
You want that.
You don't want no obligation.
I want to be side dude to somebody that got some money. I don't want to just be some side dude for some regular ass girl.
Well, it depends on what that regular girl can do. There's some girls out here with amazing, I'll call them convertible tonsils. They tonsils just go back. Like convertible.
I like your top 10 things not to do in dating. I like number 4, always lie about the number of previous sexual partners you've been with. Always.
Because nobody's ready for that.
Who asked somebody that?
Everybody asks about the body count.
Really? I feel like people don't really ask questions like that. You've
People
asked women
People
that?
still do that.
You ask women how many people have you had sex with?
Just to make conversation, yeah. Sometimes you get interesting answers because girls never want to tell the truth about how many people they've had sex with, so why should I?
I just think the best answer to that is it's not really something I want to talk about.
So that's what but that's arrogance. You could say that to a dude and get away with it because he still want to smash. There's some girls where if they said that, you'll be like, bitch, I'm gone then.
And I automatically assume you a hoe. How many guys you slept with that you don't want to talk about?
I don't know. I've never had anybody ask me that.
I pray for you because I know you just get so many phony guys and it all sounds good.
No one has ever asked me that.
When was the last time a dude said, bitch, shut the f- up to you?
Never. Nobody has ever in life said that to me.
You are missing out, man.
He's never been in love.
But can you imagine if you were like an attractive girl with a job like this? Nobody's ever going to keep it real with her.
Never.
Until you get broke down and older. Then all of a sudden dude's going to be like, bitch, how many you slept with? But right now, you don't have to worry about that, babe. You safe.
And I would never ask a guy that. I would never be like, because I always assume that guys don't even probably really know.
Well,
like,
they
do you know
don't,
how many girls you slept with?
No.
Right, so.
You stop counting. After you slept with about 20 girls, you don't even keep up with it no more.
Yeah, it's all a blur.
And you think you remember all of them? Like you could, in your head, if you.
Anybody
okay,
I slept with, if I saw him, I would know him.
Really?
Anybody I slept with, there's something about looking down on somebody with sweat dripping in their hair.
Because I know guys who would be like, man, I feel like I slept with that girl, but I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Oh, those guys have Alzheimer's. I don't know. I'm never going to forget nobody I slept with.
What'd you think about Manny Pacquiao's remarks about gay people?
That's how he feels. Listen, man, let me tell you something about that whole gay thing, man. I make jokes about gay people. And anybody who takes the joke seriously, like I'm a bad guy, I don't know what to tell you. There's so many things out here to joke about. I'm not going to not take being gay out of my arsenal.
Repertoire.
I mean, come on, that's not fair. I gotta make jokes about it.
They going to hell though now, Corey.
No, I've never said that. Have I?
Yeah.
I don't. But you know what? I'll say that. Have I? Because sometimes people will play back things that I said on my 5150 radio show. I'll be like, damn. I went there. Damn. Let me cool out on that a little bit. Just, when you're heated and you're thinking of a joke, sometimes you can go too far.
Right.
But, everybody who's been around me, I think they get it. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bully. But if you are gay, I may crack a joke about you, and I don't think you should be mad because I'm not going to treat you bad when I meet you. I treat you bad once I have established you're treating me bad, or I think you're a bad person or something like that.
You have gay friends, right?
Yeah, I got gay friends. I got a gay cousin.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the homie. And we talk about each other all the time.
What do you say about you?
I tell him the bathroom stink whenever he come out. And I was like, don't put your rags in the hamper. Don't put your rags in the hamper.
You crazy.
You throw your rags out. I'll buy new rags.
You're crazy.
I actually think that's part of equality, though, because if you gay and you want to get treated equally, you got to get these jokes just like anybody else would.
Right, man. I mean, all that sensitivity. This one dude said, do you know people commit suicide? I'm like, if you commit suicide because somebody cracked a joke on you, I mean, what is somebody going to do?
Yeah.
I can't walk on eggshells the whole time I'm around you. I mean, I will if I feel like there's repercussions from, somebody saying you killed him, then I won't talk about him. But if I can get away with it,
crazy.
Okay, so that's the conversation.
Corey's crazy.
He committed suicide because of your jokes, Corey.
I mean, I feel like I should get credit for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not nothing to be proud of, but it's an accomplishment. If you can drive somebody to death because of a joke, it ain't just got to be gay jokes. It can be anything, like dudes with bad hairlines, small penises. That always hurts guys.
Right,
guys, when you have a real small penis, because you know it's coming one day. I don't care how much she say she love you, it's coming.
Wait, when y'all get in an argument.
Yeah, it's coming.
All right, well, keep it locked. We got more with Corey Holcomb. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Comedian Corey Holcomb is in the building. Now, Charlamagne?
What you really hitting them with lately? Like, what's the one thing that presses the button?
Well, the main thing presses the button are the illegitimate kids that a lot of guys have to be phony with and smile with. Like when you meet a girl and, hey, look, man, I like that. I really go in on that. So couples who are in situations where the guys had to be phony with the little kid when they first meet them, I've seen those arguments in the parking lot.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel good about that, too. I'm not even going to lie. Because I don't know y'all, and I touched y'all lives like that.
You ever had somebody run up on you? Because I remember you used to tell the joke about the, shout out to all you girls in here who get in vaginal rejuvenation and make you right back the way it was before your uncle touched it.
I say a lot of crazy stuff.
Before your uncle touched it.
I don't know. I say a lot of crazy stuff, but if I don't know you, why would you take it so seriously? If I call out your name, right, these are jokes.
It's a general joke.
But what if the uncle really touched the girl? A girl, my uncle really touched me. That wasn't funny.
Well, why are you bringing it up now? That's like the unfair thing that's happening to Bill Cosby.
Let me ask you, what would you do in this situation? Let's just say you were with a girl, y'all broke up, she's famous, and then she tells everybody that she put fingers in you. That she really did.
Talking about Kanye West and Amber.
Would you comment on it or do you ignore it?
Well, you can't do nothing but ignore it because if you comment on it, you're going to feed into it, especially if it really happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is what happens. Nobody wants to say. There are some freaky girls out here who like that butt play.
And some freaky guys that enjoy it as well.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. It's some girls who ignore ish. And that is that. No, I had one of them little finger pokers around me. My ass still new. It still got the wrap on it. So she couldn't break that seal I got back there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was still back there. And I had on white drawers. So I was trying to give her every warning.
You do that for the power. Because she know what type of guy you are. So no matter what, she be like, I put my finger in Corey. He can talk all that talk you want.
Hey, and you know what? Girls will do that. Yes, everything that you let them get away with,
yes, sir. They gonna use
that they know takes away from your street cred.
Right. Now, you say you feel like it's not fair what's happening to Bill Cosby.
No, it ain't fair because, it's like, I don't believe Bill Cosby is innocent. Let me say that. But there is this statute of limitation law that they had, and I feel like they're just basically reversing the law to get at his ass.
Yeah.
And I would say to Bill, Bill, you was talking all that shit about black parents and what they need to do to raise their kids. Homie, you was out there getting that sleepy.
The doping group.
I tell you this, when you mess with girls who sleep, you can't sleep with them big girls because that leg, when you let it go, you'll forget and get hit in the face. The big girls' leg fall quicker than girls who ain't that big. That's what I have experienced sleeping with women while they sleep.
Oh, my goodness.
You still doing Black Jesus?
Yeah, we getting ready to do season 3 of Black Jesus. Thank God. I love that show. See, let me tell you something about TV. Man. I don't get a lot of TV, but the stuff I do, fortunately, people watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's important.
Because I don't audition like that, man. Out there in L.A., I'm not knocking anybody that auditions, but I just can't do everything. I like this guy I am. You know what I mean? I make a living with this guy, this character. And if I could pull it off on a TV show, that's a blessing. And Black Jesus gave me that opportunity.
You'd have been a terrible slave, Corey.
Yeah, I probably would have been. I would have been smashing massive wife, boy. I'd have been one of them dudes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Corey Holcomb.
That's
It's
what's
the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Hurricane Game.
The gang.
I'm just chilling right
It
here.
was feeling like Destiny wasn't going to bring you here because first it was a bomb scare
Come
and
on,
you got
man.
stuck
You
in
got
the
stuck in the
elevator.
For like 30 minutes.
Y'all be having some crazy stuff going on in New York, man. It's like you wake up to bombs, scares, threats. You get stuck on elevators. It's hot. Like, it's crazy, man. I'm just happy to be here. I'm really, really happy to see y'all. You know what I'm
You made
saying?
it back. Welcome back.
Yeah, what game we getting today now? It's
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Now I got a chance to hear Game's album.
You did.
Yeah, I heard Game's album.
1992.
1992. Album is dope.
Appreciate it.
Album reminded me of mixtape days. Same rapping, same flow, but a lot of samples. Were y'all able to clear that many samples?
Yeah, some of them we just, you know what happens with us is that, you know, with me and Wack, when we calling for the samples, it get a little bit easier to clear joints, man, because a lot of them joints don't be getting cleared, man, but we got them cleared. It's cool. I'm glad because I think everything had a sample on it.
When you did the diss record to Meek, I'm like, damn, Game could spit. We up here like, damn, Game is getting
Yeah.
I spent too much time at Daddy Daycare, man, and then, you know, people forget.
I had to listen to that like 10 times to catch everything.
I listened to this record at least 5-6 times. Like, I always knew you could rap. Man, there wasn't no debate, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
he's
you
a rapper.
know
in my
ass
group
rapper.
chat, my friends were like, did y'all hear the game as soon as it
Yeah.
came out? I was in the car. I was like, put it on now, put it on now.
You know what's crazy is that when I was writing it in the studio,
You wrote it in New York. When you
I
got
wrote it
here.
in New York,
That's
Quad
crazy.
Studios, and I couldn't wait to get here because I couldn't find a studio in South Carolina, and I was just like, I gotta get to New York because I had I had everything bubbling inside. And when I wrote it, I felt the same feeling when I was writing 300 bars. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that it was gonna be something when I was done.
Now, hold on, one of the Dream Chasers said you had a ghostwriter.
That's crazy because
Chino said that.
I'm always the guy that got a ghostwriter. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody say, well, 50 wrote the first album and yada yada. Well, 50 didn't help write the second album, and the second album still went multi-platinum, and
That's actually my
Game
favorite
was
one.
dead. And that's my favorite
Yeah,
one.
Dr. Zavitz.
And you know what I'm saying? Shout to 50 because we chopped it up in LA and everything is all good. And then, you know what I'm saying, they say, oh, well, he had a ghostwriter on the second album. And then I did 500 bars after that. It's always Game got a ghostwriter, man. I'm in the studio with my homies, you know what I'm saying, and I just got it off. You know what I'm saying? That was my feeling. You can't ghostwrite what Game says.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because only I talk and speak like that.
Well, on Pest Control, was there anything that you originally had thought you would put in a song and said, nah, you know what, this might be too far?
Too far.
There's so
I'm just asking
hey,
'cause it went
hey,
far, but I'm
she
just
right. Hey, yo,
wondering.
she got a thing because there was a lot of things that I left out where I could have went really Charlemagne the God. You know what I'm saying? I could have went there.
You was pretty close.
You went far, but I
He's
was
talking
like,
about shaving somebody's mama's mustache.
That was far. And you know, and it's
sleeping with his
crazy.
sister.
I don't like to do mamas, you know what I'm saying? But I did go to the gram. She did have a mustache, so I felt it was fair play.
but like, what are some things that are off limits too far?
I think kids are definitely off limits
Right.
at all times. Kids, you know what I'm saying? They just kids. Other than that, no one really.
No one.
Yeah, nobody.
Now, everybody thinks this is a publicity stunt to sell 1992.
I've sold 25 million albums. I don't understand how that's possible. I don't even care if 1992 sell or don't sell. Like, for the last 15 years of my life, I've been getting money here, there, everywhere. I'm still rich. I'm not going broke ever. It's not about album sales. Albums ain't really selling like they used to. You're not even getting that much money. It's all in the all in your advance, and then your back end. You know that get chewed up by the label, and you really don't never see that. So it's not about selling albums. I'm not the label. I have a label. They gotta make the money that they put out to, you know what I'm saying, produce the album and all of that. So I'm not making this record so that the label can make all the money, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it ain't about that with me.
These reports that the police never even question you.
It wasn't. See, the thing about that is there's not paperwork for talking to the police and implicating someone. It ain't like I said, yo, he snitched on me, told the cops I had 15 bricks in the trunk and I'm facing 25 to life. No, they had conversations with police officers and implicating my crew and me about that. So when police came to my house the day before I left to come on tour, they were asking questions based on what was told to them by these cats. And there's no paperwork drawn up on that.
So why would Meek tell? Like, what did he have to do with the situation?
I don't understand. I really, and I'm being 100% honest. I really don't understand why he did that. I don't understand.
Weren't y'all cool? Y'all were cool, I thought.
We were solid. What happened was we was in the club. As soon as I seen him, I hadn't seen him in a while. He was on the house arrest thing in Philly or whatever. So I sent the bottle of rosé just from me to him over to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? You know, to freedom, just being able to move around. Right. And you know, I had told him when I was over there, I'm like, yo, cats been getting robbed in LA, and they have. Cats been getting laid down for their jury. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I told him,
start back up though.
Yeah, so I told him that, you know, just watch your back and all that, and when you leave, don't wait till the club, you know what I'm saying, end it, like, you know, get out of here a little bit earlier. So he took my advice, he did that. And after that, Sean Kingston got robbed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because he one of those type of cats that's like, fool. You see Sean Kingston, that's like an easy mark. You know what I'm saying? So Sean Kingston got robbed. We get out the club. 15 minutes later, Sean Kingston called me, bro, that's messed up. You got me robbed. Meek said that you told him that Cats was robbing and that he should go, and then all of a sudden I get robbed, and that's messed up. I said, look, I ain't get you robbed, dog. Mm-hmm. If you need help getting your jury back or you want to ask some questions, I'll help you. Let me get off the phone with you, call Meek. I called Meek. Meek said, man, I ain't tell that fat nothing. So I said, let me get them both on three-way. Got them both on three-way. Kingston saying, you did tell me. Mm-hmm. Meek saying, you know what I'm saying? I didn't tell you. So I just hung up the phone, bro. I ain't had time to argue with them. I let it go. Day before I'm leaving for tour, detectives come to my door asking me questions. You know what I'm saying? I told them, yeah, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Slam the door. And then I'm in Miami, in Story. I get off the Patron. I get a little, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I said what I said because I had that bubbled up inside me, and that was it.
So why now? People are saying if that happened back in June, why do it now?
That happened in June. Detectives knocked on my door this month, though. Before I left for tour. Right. I still compressed it, but then I got drunk in Miami, flew off the handle on the mic, and said Meek Mill, and then it happened like that.
But you had a record ready, though. You had a record that was on the album that you threw a little shot at him.
Yeah, I did that before I left. The record was just 92 bars. Right. I put, you know what I'm saying, I went back and changed the last, like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 bars before I left so that it would fit the situation. The record was already done, and I just added that to the end. So I ain't really get to go in like I wanted to, but then I'm glad that they did what they did over a beat that I love, which is that Young M.A. beat, and I knew, like, I wanted to just kill that beat just because it's a hard beat, hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get off on it. I'm glad they went and did it first so I can, you know what I'm saying, bring the funeral.
So, Wack, you heard the conversation too, right?
Well, you know, I'm always in the middle of the conversation.
Okay.
The key thing to the whole situation was when a man could call you and tell you word for word what a conversation was between you and somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know somebody. You know he had a conversation.
And that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Now, what if Meek would have just said, you know what? All I told him was, you did warn me to get out the club.
Been 100.
All that's good. Right. It's like, you know, it's like this. Let's just say that, you know, Charlamagne, my man, you know what I'm saying? We've been rocking for over 10 years. It's like, if you come to L.A. for BET Weekend, I tell you, yo, Charlamagne, if you need anything, holla at me. Cat's been robbing. I'm your man. This ain't your pocket. I got you. And right there in that same conversation is, let's just say, I don't know, Chingy, right? And then Chingy get robbed.
Okay, that's random.
I don't know.
Why
I'm just
Chingy of all people?
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I looked at my man headphones, they look blingy. Chingy. So anyway, I leave, Chingy get robbed, and then you tell Chingy, yo, Game just told me to watch out, then you got robbed, it's him. It would be like, why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you rob Chingy? He don't have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying, man.
Now you took some shots and Nicki said you want to smash Nicki. I thought you and Nicki was cool. Yeah,
me and Nicki, if me and Nicki don't become uncool because I want to smash, Nicki's whole thing is because people want to smash. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes Nicki hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that people are attracted to her and that she look good and she doing her thing, and if everybody wants to smash you, you're doing a good thing. That's not a diss.
All right, we got more with the game when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. God, we are the Breakfast Club. We got the game in the building. Charlamagne?
So when you see Sean Kingston on Instagram talking all tough and crazy,
he been calling everybody phone trying to back down off of that. And the crazy part about it is I'm on tour and I'm in New York. But when I get back home and I can really like lay the board out and really play how I want to play, ain't nobody gonna be doing all that. Nobody's gonna be doing all of that. And then, you know, you got people out there that gonna say, well, I thought you were an activist. And I'm not Jesse Jackson. I don't gotta be Jesse Jackson for these people. If it's some Black Lives Matter stuff that need to be done and I get up and I serve my purpose and use my platform to do that, then I'm doing that. But if somebody, you know, ratting on me and implicating my name into some stuff when I already got tried, when I'm already facing, you know, time and all of that for some other stuff, then that angers me and I'm off that Black Lives Matter for a minute. I'm angry about this situation. I'm gonna do me. I don't gotta be Jesse Jackson for these people 100% of my life. I'm human. I got feelings. It seemed
like you had some reservations though after I saw your interview with TMZ.
Right.
So you felt conflicted.
Yeah.
I find it a little difficult to be actually, you know, beefing with another African American on one accord. It's like should be on this you know, this Black Lives Matter push, and then on the other side, I got this beef with me going. So it's kind of like I'm torn. Makes me look bipolar, man. Between like take all the media, the social media, all of that out of the equation, and me, you know, me and Meek know what's up, man.
Well, cause I'm real. I do feel conflicted. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what's happening with the, you know, 2 cats that got gunned down. I don't like that. But at the same time, I'm in my skin in my life and I have a problem that I'm trying to address and put my attention to. Usually I post and I put the positive stuff out there. I say, you know, Black Lives Matter. This is messed up. What are we going to do now? Here it goes again. But I don't want that mixed up with what's going on with this other situation because it's going to look crazy. So I just haven't said anything about it. Doesn't mean that I don't feel, you know, sad. I'm not saddened by, you know, 2 more brothers getting shot down by the police and none of that. It's just that I don't want it looking crazy, so I haven't voiced my opinion publicly, and I don't have to.
Right. Now, every time somebody beats you, they always bring up some male scripture.
That's crazy, but it's never a video or never a picture. It's only the Photoshop joint that keeps searching around.
Where did that come from? I mean, I know the G-Unit
started it, but a dude that my mom used to date, this a bitter dude that my mom used to own a strip club. A dude that my mom used to date that used to help her or, you know, give a little funnel, little cheese to it, made that up talking, trying to get some money somewhere, and I mean, that's crazy.
You missed the point. He was one of the strippers.
Yeah, and he was working there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the thing about that, it ain't even about that. The crazy part about it is that if your girl got some money, like your girl right now today, and she got some money and she want to give it to me and it's me and her, I'm stripping down. She about to see it. You know what I'm saying? How much you gonna throw it? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. And fellas and homies and dudes that's out there, let's not act like we don't change up and get not as hard as we are when we get in the comfort, you know, getting the ladies' company and all of that.
I always say men act completely different around
women.
Come on,
around women. So let's not play. Everybody, you know, thugged out and gangsta, and that's cool. But when you get around women or when you with a woman and y'all being intimate, you ain't doing that. You moving them hips like you know what I'm saying? Like you in a 112 group or something, man. Come on, man.
Now Beanie Siegel, he caught a stray.
You know why? Look, let me tell you something. That's why I did the freestyle. That's why, because that hurt my feelings. And I'm being 100% honest. I'm a Beanie Siegel fan. We all are. In high school, you know what I'm saying? Mac Daddy, Young Scrappy. No, he ain't the OG gangster. Yes, I is. Like, come on. That dude is coming at me for no reason. Like, I really rock with Beans. We all did. State Property. You know what I'm saying? The La Familia album. Like, this is Beanie Siegel, the legend, Broad Street Bully. I don't want problems with Beans. I look up to Beans. That's my homie. We done chopped it. We done smoked L's in L.A., chilled. We done did songs together. I check on him. You know what I'm saying? When he got out of jail, he check on me. We talk about the kid's life. And then all of a sudden, he in pictures and he got something to do with a song dissing me for no reason without talking to me. You got to get it.
And everybody know when it come to my brother right here, right or wrong, I stand with him. Beans called me last night.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what he said.
And the first thing out his mouth was, I apologize, I was out of line. He never heard the 92 Bars song where Gang
I just got through Big and Beans Up. You know what I'm saying? You heard it?
Right?
Yeah.
So he said when he goes to the studio.
Went to the studio to write for O'Malley. You know what I'm saying? But I told him, I said, that's
what he said.
I don't want
that's what he said. That dude.
I mean, well, you know what I'm saying? Dude is a street cat, and I mean, in defense of O'Malley while I'm smashing him, he's not a rapper like that, so he might need a little help, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But I told Beans when they called you to get on the song and write his version of the diss at a dude that you rock with and you've been 100 with, you supposed to slam the door on that. Like, I know it's Philly, you got to hold it down, but Beans gonna stand down on this one. That ain't my thing. I ain't got to jump in that. you should have knew. And he said, you know what, Chuck, you right. You know what I'm saying? You're right. But he did it. He jumped out the window, and it hurt I'm talking about it really hurt my feelings because I didn't want to go at Beans, but I had to, and I did what I had to do.
I love how you did diss records killing these people, and you're also defending them now. Like, you just...
It's one,
but it's one,
you know, because I try to keep it 100, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's very rational.
I understand that if you don't have up to par rhyme skills, you might have somebody to step in. I understand that. So I can't say that it's, if he would have, if Beans wasn't there. Right. You know what I'm saying? It would have been that. So I understand he needed help.
So Beans not going to retaliate. It's not going to be another diss from me. I was kind of looking forward to hearing something.
Man. We talked to Beans. He talked to Beans. He put me on the phone with Beans, and it's all good. And it's cool that it's all good because I can go back to respecting a legend and, you know what I'm saying, the way that he's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, respected. I didn't want to disrespect Beans, but I had to. And I even had to show Beans that you can get it too. You can get it too.
Now, Meek also reached out to you as well. Did he reach out to you too?
Nah, Meek's been reaching out to me, to my family on the 60 side, Nipsey Hussle and Big U. His whole disposition is now he understands why it happened, as if he didn't know what Sean Kingston had did or said or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real. Meek is living in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills, right?
That's great.
He's living in Beverly Hills because it might be a slight problem, a slight issue, you know, on the Philly side. So he doesn't want that problem to go there. He know we got to come back home. Worst case scenario, he'll get ran back to Philly, but he just left Philly.
Yeah.
There's nowhere he don't want to be. And at the end of the day, it's hip hop. You said something, he said something. It's all fair game. Like, what's the problem?
One thing you said, Wacky, I thought was interesting. You said that if Meek knew all this stuff about Game beforehand, why do records with him?
Why was you working with him?
So then how do you bring it back around? How can y'all be cool again knowing that that's how you
it ain't
it's
about
not
being
even
cool.
about being
it's
cool.
just about just being able to be, you know, at the same festival or in the same club, conducting your business and being able to go in and out without it being a problem.
You say that now. What was the conversation like with Fifth?
You know what, man?
That's been a long time coming.
I didn't expect it to go like that. I went over there. I expected him to, you know, be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Right. Like, not how it was. Right. It was too cool. We chopped it up for about like 15, 20 minutes. It was no problem. Nobody got on edge on my side. Nobody got on edge on his side. I went over there. I walked straight through, you know what I'm saying, security. We chopped it up. We held a dap the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, as close as I am to this mic.
That was defensive. We both.
Yeah, I'm not letting go. Yeah.
We both go right arms.
Yeah. No, we both did. No, we definitely did that. And I know he was thinking like, yo, he could. Like, I don't know how his left is. And I was thinking like, yo, if I feel it, you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you why it was bad. Because Monster's standing behind Game and I'm standing behind 50.
Right.
So either way it went,
it'd have been bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was going, hey, you know, it's going to be a 2-on-2 if it go anywhere. But we chopped it. At the end of the day, me and him couldn't even explain to each other where it really went wrong. And it had been over 10 years, and it was like, we couldn't even explain to each other what happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? We just know that we was young and we was angry, and you know what I'm saying, shots got fired, but it was all good, and we chopped it up. And that ain't necessarily say that it's gonna be a G-Unit reunion or we gonna do a song, but we solid. And just like he said, so if me and Fifth is in the same club, my side ain't on edge, his side ain't on edge, and we just, you know, we in there, we coexisting.
Now we got more with the game when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. We got the game in the building.
Now everybody knows y'all get down, fighting, whatever it is, but they was giving you flack for squashing the beef with Thug and Durk.
Yeah.
So how do you pick and choose which ones you...
Number one, when I ran into Durk, it was at a Rick Ross thing. You know what I'm saying? And we chopped it up, and some people don't understand that in LA, I could have smashed. I really could have. It wasn't like I was in Chicago. And if I was in Chicago, I would have been vulnerable. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like if I go to Philly, I'm vulnerable. But we was in LA. I chopped it up with Durk, and he was 100 about everything. And then I was at fault because I just jumped in because Tiger called me and needed help. So I just jumped in. On some West Coast OG, I jumped in.
Game train to go.
So again, look about that one. So again,
you told him that what? You told him?
Hell yeah, I told him that.
So again, I was at fault. So I understood that. He wasn't pressing the issue. I wasn't tripping, so we squashed it like that. As far as Thug told me, yo, I look up to you. You know what I'm saying? You the big homie. You know what I'm saying? You the big blood. Like, I don't have no issues. And again, I jumped out the window for Wayne. That's my man, and it's still my man. It's always gonna be my man. That's like my dude. And so me and Thug Squash, they did a shout out for my kid's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was big. And my son don't know the beef and with Young Thug and Game. And he really appreciated that. So that's where that went. So you can't be mad at cats for taking the man approach when you're asking on Instagram and in the comments for us to cease, and then when it cease, you want to say, oh, they copping please, or they squashing, but then if we go shooting it, oh, y'all dumb. Like, come on, man.
But you're aware, though. You know it wasn't about nothing. It wasn't about nothing with either one of them.
Charlamagne,
exactly.
The best war fought is a war without casualties. Period. Because at the end of the day, we're all somebody's children, we're somebody's fathers, somebody's husbands, or whatever. And like on my watch, because I come from the casualties, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it goes the other way, because it's too easy for me to do the other thing.
Yeah, because even with the Stitches dude, y'all didn't mob on him. He approached y'all.
I mean, I don't even know where dude came from, but he went out like a light. You know what I'm saying?
You guys got him a lot of attention, though, because nobody knew who he was.
We don't care about that. Have it. If you want attention for getting slept on the news, have it.
Now, what happened the other night in Miami? Because I think he said that
he was trying to take credit for that.
Look, let me tell you what happened in Miami. Number one, we don't have cars in Miami. We don't have vehicles in Miami. We on tour buses. When we get off the tour buses, we got car service, provided by, Headliner Mike, whatever, to get us to and from, SUVs. They came through and shot up some cars that wasn't our cars when we wasn't there. When we was halfway through Atlanta when we woke up to the news that Game cars got shot up. It's like media mixed with a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, nobody shot at my car, or I don't know. Like, I don't even know what that was. So you don't feel like
you were targeted in that?
No. If it wasn't our cars and it wasn't where we was at, cars don't bleed, man. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go shoot us an empty car. Like, what's your mission in life?
Right.
What is your mission? That's your mission? Because you knew nobody wasn't gonna be sitting in no cars at 6 a.m. in the morning, and you don't even know who cars. You just shooting at. Like, come on, man. Like,
what you think of Nipsey saying that you and Meek are displaying bad leadership?
I talked to Nipsey about that. I told Nipsey that you doing exactly what I would do if I was you and you was me in this situation. Right. It shows growth. It shows that you mature, and that's dope that you did that. But I'm not on that. I'm on this. And he understood it. And you know what I'm saying? That's my little homie. I've rocked with Nipsey ever since I rolled my window down, took Nipsey demo and actually listened to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love with Nipsey. That's my brother. That's my homie. And I respect his position. He did right. He didn't do wrong by saying that we should be on that. I wasn't on that.
So you think you and Meek, does it have to come to a fist fight?
That's what I would like to happen.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen,
Nah, fist fight not going to happen because he's already...
UFC fight again.
He's already let it be.
You work out all the time. I don't think that's really fair.
He's already let it be.
It ain't even a fair thing. It's just a man-to-man thing. If you got a problem with a man, you got a problem with you. It's all good. It's better than us whipping out guns and somebody dying. We ain't got to do that.
But you look like an MMA fighter. Like, come on.
Did Nikki reach out to you at all? Like, come on, take my picture down off the...
Nah, but it like, Nikki should just stay out of it. She in her lane doing her thing. She's an amazing artist, you know what I'm saying? And I got, you know what I'm saying, love and respect for her. I'm sorry I had to drag her into this, and you know what I'm saying, it was a minimal drag. Right. But she wasn't disrespected, you know what I'm saying, at all. I went and did what I had to do.
It was a jab at him to post the picture. Everybody knew it was from a video. It wasn't like it was a personal...
And I mean, it looked like a photo shoot or a video shoot. It don't look like us somewhere in a hotel somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So it was all good.
Where'd you get the information that he FaceTime
Safari?
We know that. I mean, we got
everybody.
That from
number one, you heard that, you know what I'm saying, like long time ago, just in the know-how. But Safari told me that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what it is.
Now, what about the Kardashians? We were talking about this the other day.
You don't want to have no friends over there, man.
You don't want no new...
Number one, that's not going to stop.
That's exactly what I said. Girls are still, it doesn't matter.
That's not going to stop, man. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It is what it is.
Was Kanye upset? Did he try to reach out?
Me and Ye, we solid, man. He don't never get upset.
Ye.
And it was before Ye, and Ye understands what it is. And but we made, me and Ye made a thing to not bring up people's wives and stuff like that, and family, like just close family in a disrespectful, what I'm saying, manner. So I ain't disrespect nobody.
You're too honest, man.
I just tell it, tell the truth, and it's all good, man. They good people, man. Kim and Chloe, they good people. I don't got no problems with them. I'm just saying that my piece.
Now, what if one of them chicks come out and be like, Game snitching?
I mean, I can't see that happening.
I thought the third one was the mom. That's what the game knocked down the mom.
That would have been a
I've
great
never heard that.
I'm looking at your body language and everything like, yeah, did he knock Chris off?
Hey, I've never heard that.
All right, we got more with the game when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Hey, I'm Angela Yee.
And I go by the name of Charlamagne the God, and we just want to say happy holidays from all three of us.
All three of y'all.
The Breakfast Club.
It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got the game in the building.
So where does the beef go from here? And you gonna be more records?
We gonna go outside and we just gonna figure it out. I can't say it's over. I can't say that I don't have a problem with that guy. I can't say nothing. I can't say I don't want to fight. I can't say nothing. I'm here with y'all explaining it, from the root of the problem to what it is now, and I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm gonna be here for whatever it is.
What about Sean Kingston?
Sean Kingston, fat, sloppy. Stop. Yo, he better stop playing. He better really, really, really stop playing.
Yeah, because what he's gonna do is, what he doesn't understand is when people hear that, we don't even have to say nothing. Certain people are just going to react, and I don't think he's understanding that. What we've been doing is making a bunch of calls.
You know how many people call, real hood that want to go. You know what I'm saying? At Cats, and we telling people, chill. I'm going to figure this out. Me and Wack, we on the road, we going to figure it out. This dude's pulling up at addresses, sending us pictures of gates.
Yikes.
And I'm like, nah, it ain't that. We gonna chill. We gonna figure it out. I'll handle it. And when I get home, I can really sit down and balance out everything, connect the dots. And what Cats got to stop doing, stop thinking you're gonna come to LA and you're gonna call the powers that be on me. You know what I'm saying? You're not calling, flipping nobody on game in LA. It's not happening. Even though the gangs is all, separate and the leaders is all.
Lord have mercy on my poor soul.
You know what I'm saying? Even though everything is all separate, stop thinking you're gonna call and get me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. The LA politics is crazy, man.
Somebody better chill out, whoever house that is.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm just being 100% honest. In LA, it's real.
I got your
tricky.
address, Sean.
You know what I'm saying?
And the chick you staying with, you better chill out.
It's Cats pulling up, sending us pictures.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Nikki address?
We'll go.
Oh,
right.
It's not even in my immediate crew. And I'm like, yo, relax. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all don't want to go too far, though, because y'all want to fight, but then you see O'Malley posting up Uzis, and somebody...
That better stop.
That was crazy.
That better stop.
That was very incriminating.
O'Malley got to respect the fact that his man on the West Coast.
Let me tell you something real quick, and it go like this. I ain't been to Philly in 8 or 9 years. I ain't been to Philly. Philly, it's not one of those towns where you got to go through if you're a hip-hop artist. Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Atlanta. These are where the awards are. These are where cats move out of their towns and come live and do that. A lot of cats is moving to L.A. and living in L.A. I can manipulate L.A. positively or negatively when I want to. So it's you live in L.A. You got to be in L.A. You got to come to L.A. even if you don't live in L.A. I don't ever got to go to Philly. And I understand that if I'm in Philly, that I'm vulnerable. That's not my hood. That's not my area. I don't control it. I don't know too many cats from Philly. I'm out of my envelope. In New York right now, I'm out of my envelope. I'm out of my comfort zone, my element. I can't boss up in New York and say I'm running Brooklyn or the Bronx or none of that. I can't do that. But in LA, Compton, South Central, California, the Bay, San Diego, I'm locked there and I can manipulate the streets if I want to. But I'm not a negative. I don't wake up and want to be negative. My only problem, this dude ran his mouth off on something that he shouldn't have for no reason when all I did was look out. And my problem ain't with nobody. It ain't with Philly. I got love for Philly. My problem was with one guy. It can stay between me and that guy. It don't got to be Wack problem with his man or his cousin problem with my cousin. No, my problem is with one man. Let that man face me like a man and let's figure it out. And if that's a fight, cool. If we talk and no hands are thrown, that's cool. Let that man meet me, talk to me in my face, and let's work it out that way. You know what I'm saying? We can do it like that. It ain't gotta be.
You said he tried to call you. You ain't answer his call.
I was hot that day.
Okay.
I was hot that day. I was real hot that day. He did call my phone. I ain't had to Photoshop it. He didn't say it was Photoshop. He said that he called.
But
do we need to call Farrakhan? That's cool.
Nah, I don't know who you need to call, but I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. I'm moving.
When the album comes out October 14th, it's the game. It's the Breakfast Club.
Game.
Good morning.
Man, you know I love y'all.
Charlamagne, say the gang, dunk it other day, man.
You are a donkey.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkey of the day does not discriminate.
I might not have the song of the day, but I got the donkey of the day.
So if you ever feel I need to be a donkey, man, hit it with the hee-haw.
Yes, the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's donkey of the day today?
Yes, Donkey of the Day is sponsored by Pure Hate and a slight concern for you idiot safety. It goes to all you people playing Pokemon Go. Okay, let me rephrase. All you people playing Pokemon Go and catching Pokemons in inappropriate places, okay? I hate to be the fun police, but Pokemon Go is going to be the death of some of you. You're going to die trying to catch a Rattata. Okay, the worst way for a grown-ass man to die right now is at the hands of the police for a random traffic stop and for trying to cross a busy freeway to catch a Zubat. All right, I'm reading this article on Polygon.com, and the headline reads, "These are the worst places to play Pokemon Go." Listen to this, because I can't believe it's that serious for some of y'all. First of all, let me explain the basic premise of Pokemon Go. The basic premise is that it encourages players to get off their seats and venture out into the real world, where they will find Pokemon in actual locations. But this game is causing some of y'all to lose your minds and disregard basic life etiquette. For example, the hospital where your wife is in labor. First of all, you should not be playing on your phone while your wife is in labor. You should be right there with her, acting like you can feel every contraction. You should be right there holding her hand, acting like you in pain too. But no, some of y'all in the room while your wife is pushing, looking for Pidgeys. Another inappropriate place to catch a Pokemon, on the side of the road where the cops pulled you over. Black people, I dare you. We live in a world where if you reach wrong, the cops will light your ass up. So I dare you to be on the side of the road while the cops have you pulled over trying to catch a Squirtle. You better keep your hands on that steering wheel and not make no sudden moves if you know what I know, because Pokemon not dying for you, okay? Playing Pokemon Go while black isn't the same as playing Pokemon Go while white. Want to test that theory? Tell the police Jigglypuff is on his gun and throw the ball at his gun and see what happens, okay? Now, if you're operating a motor vehicle on a road filled with other motor vehicles and a Spearow is in the driver's seat of your car, don't do it! Do I even have to tell you how dangerous this is? One more inappropriate place, funerals. Bruh, it's disrespectful to try to catch econs or whatever you pronounce it in a funeral of a loved one, but it's even more disrespectful to walk into a funeral of a stranger and try to catch one. First of all, I hate people who take pictures at funerals. So imagine a Caterpie on the casket and you in there all up on the casket trying to steady your camera while everybody else crying and grieving, and you in there cheering and jumping around because you just caught a Caterpie. I hate to be the Pokemon, Go joy killer, but it has to be some rules and regulations put into place. Not only should you not be looking for Pokemons in inappropriate places, you can't be getting up to look for Pokemons if you haven't gotten up to look for a job. You can't be looking for Pokemons if you're a grown-ass man and your mom's house is a Pokespot, but you still live there.
What does level up mean, Yee?
What is what level? Oh, you got it to level 2?
Yes!
You can't go looking for Pokemon in the doctor's office if you haven't been into a doctor's office yourself for a random checkup in years. You can't go looking for Pokemon in a dentist's office if you've never been in a dentist's office for a random teeth cleaning ever. You can't go looking for Pokemon in the free clinic if you went to the free clinic to get an STD test but never went back for your results. If you want to be the ultimate Pokemon joy killer today, walk up to a black person while they are playing Pokemon Go and ask them, what is Pokemon Go doing for the Black Lives Matter movement? Or walk up to a white person and say, does Pokemon Go mean more to you than black lives? Look, man, we all have our vices. We all have things we like to do in our downtime, but let's make sure we have our priorities in order. Let's remember proper etiquette. And most importantly, let's not die trying to catch a Charmander, please. Okay? Give all these people playing Pokemon Go, risking their lives to catch a Pokemon the biggest hee-haw, please.
Are you finished or are you done? Because I got to go outside.
Yeah, I got to go get this.
And by the way, I just activated an incense, and they're not coming to me. I got to walk around and see where these things are.
This just in. Charlie Sheen has a game for y'all to play. And you don't have to catch all of them. You just got to catch one.
I'll pass. All right.
Nobody. Y'all don't want to play.
All right, I'm going to be back. I'll be back.
Y'all don't want to play Charlie Sheen Go?
Nope.
Y'all don't want to play Charlie Sheen Go? Why not? You don't play Charlie Sheen Go?
I'll pass.
Oh, okay.
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a guest in the building today. Goes by the name of Martin Shkreli. Did I say that right?
Yes, I gave him Donkey of the Day last week.
Right.
This is the guy who went at Ghostface, who jacked up the prices on the HIV/AIDS pills.
He had the goons in the background.
Yes. He came in here and tried to shake my hand. I said, nope, I can't shake your hand. I need to know what you're all about first.
All right.
So first question, are you a privileged, entitled prick?
No, come on, man.
Break it down for me.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born in Brooklyn, privileged. No, my parents are janitors, dude.
I read.
My parents, to this day, You know, my mom still does that. She's making 50 grand. You know, this is not a privileged family. I grew up in the streets, shared a room with my brother. You're talking about 2-bedroom, 4 kids. You know,
Okay.
I grew up the same way everyone in Brooklyn grows up. Roaches and rats. I think that phrase comes from a certain rap music artist that you may be familiar with.
The God Ghostface Killer.
Know what I mean? Maybe. I was actually thinking of Jay, but whatever.
Ghostface said that too, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and all that I got is you.
Oh, okay.
So you grew up from the hood. You're from Brooklyn. You're from the hood.
Yeah, I think so, man.
So how did you become this?
How did you become
millionaire?
so douchey?
How did you become so rich?
I think that the media can portray people the way they want, and look, I'll give it back too. You get a lot of people here, to prepare for this. I watched you interview Kanye, man. He can act like that too.
Kanye
this.
could definitely act like a privileged, entitled. Yes.
So it's part of the persona, the mystique. Sometimes I'm a confident individual, but after all that's happened, I do want to set some of the records straight. I'm certainly not privileged, man. I've struggled, fought. I went to City College. I earned my way to the top, and I think I should earn a little bit of respect for that.
All right, well, let's talk about this Wu-Tang album you bought, because that was...
Did you bring it?
First we heard it.
I'll bring it next time. I'll even play a track for you if you want.
So you paid $2 million for this album.
I did.
What made you say, I'm going to buy this album for $2 million? And it seems like you were upset that RZA wasn't talking about it, the guys weren't discussing it.
Well, I'll break it down from the beginning, because this is the number one place for hip-hop, so I might as well, if I'm going to break it down extensively, I might as well do that here. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Please.
All right. So there's a lot of details, obviously, right? I think every rich rap guy interested in rap was interested. And maybe I could even take it back a step further to talk about why I care about the Wu-Tang in the damn first place, right? I was a rock kid growing up. I'm not a liar. There's nothing. I'll never tell a lie in my life. And I told RZA to his face, as I said, I'm not your biggest fan. I can't name every track on every affiliated Wu album. That's not me. Let me be clear about that. Had summer school one year because I was a big derelict troublemaker, kid. And me and this kid from the Bronx named Josh Martinez. Josh was always listening to Wu-Tang during summer school, and I would always listen to like Nirvana or something like that. And he'd be like, "Let me hear some of that," and I'd say, "All right, let me hear some of yours." And we dug it.
I'm sure you might. I'll show you mine.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
Go ahead.
Basically. And he's like, I don't really get it, and I was like, yeah, I don't really get yours, but he's felt it a little bit, and then. I got back into rap, and one of the big reasons I got back into rap was actually the Chappelle Show. When they had the Wu-Tang financial skit on the Chappelle Show.
Classic.
That was a classic, and it really, quite frankly, I think it did a lot for Wu-Tang, it did a lot for rap, it did a lot for a new audience, because we looked at it and we were like, this is kind of, it's truth is stranger than fiction.
Was that what made you want to get in the financial game?
No.
Okay.
But I was already in it.
You got to diversify your bond.
Yeah, and when we saw that, we were like, this is truth is stranger than fiction. This is actually how a lot of us talk and act in finance. And so I got more and more to rap. When the album came out, I said, I gotta own this. There's a lot of things rich dudes buy to just prove that, again, I don't know what
For
words.
tax purposes?
No.
Okay.
To
Just
show
because
off.
they're rich.
To show your friends, it's your last companies or whatever. It's like, hey, you, look at me. I got this $2 million album. What you think about that? Guys do that all the time.
So if you respect Wu-Tang, why disrespect Ghostface the way you did in that video? Because
that's a separate subject.
I was at Bridget Capital yesterday, which is a great hedge fund place.
Of course it is.
I didn't see nobody in there with mask on, a bunch of goons talking crazy the way you was talking.
Bridger, yeah, I wonder what you're doing there. Anyway, really?
Yes, I was, sir. I know people too.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy me a $2 million album one day.
You totally changed blew up my brain right now.
He was just cleaning the toilet.
No, I wasn't actually. But
good.
Look, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the whole clan, including Ghost. But we're talking musically. There's a difference between music and real life and personas.
You said you own him. You said he's like your
I don't
son.
recall saying that.
It
I did
very
say son.
Slave master, slavish.
All right, that let me just end that right there.
Yeah.
That's not the intent. Son is a word that we use all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And it's meant to show disrespect. Like you're as if you were my son.
So you were disrespecting him?
Of course.
Why though?
He disrespected me.
How did he disrespect you?
Oh, he called me a shithead, I believe, on
And his defense, a lot of people were saying that because of the HIV drugs situation.
Yes.
Which will give you a chance to clean up.
I'll clean that up. But, at the end of the day, it definitely felt like, look, the guy was taking shots at me in the hip-hop game. It's not easy to be on the receiving end of those things without jumping back.
But you're not hip-hop. You're
whatever. It doesn't matter, man.
Guy.
It doesn't matter. You can look, even in finance, it's not even a hip-hop thing. It's a man thing. You take shots at me, I'm going to come back at you, especially publicly. especially publicly. And that's just basic bravado and the basic, manhood. I'm not going to let him steal on me for what?
I feel like you want to be famous, which is crazy to me because you're worth $45 million.
A lot more than that, but anyway. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Now tell us about the drug. What happened with the drug? Now, they said that the pill was what?
$13. You jacked it up to $7.50.
And you jacked it up to $7.50.
Yeah,
now explain that a little bit because people are pissed off about it.
It was 18 with $7.50, same difference. The number one thing I'd say is in law, because a lot of people don't understand this. It's kind of interesting. In law, you can be prosecuted for not maximizing profits. In fact, I know people who have. And you have to do everything in your power to make as much money as possible in the system we've got. You can't go halfway. And if we did the analysis, we said we can go to $7.50. So
from $13?
Uh-huh. And nothing's changed. People will pay the $7.50. Not people, insurance companies, etc. No one's got to actually throw the bills down.
But if the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies have to pay more for it, don't they have to charge regular people
Absolutely.
more?
Absolutely.
So why would you want that?
I don't want that. This is one of the smallest drugs around. This is not Lipitor. This is not something everyone's taking. This is a few thousand people take this medicine. It's very rarely used. So in the scheme of things, this is 0.0001% of the drug business.
But somebody has to be buying this drug.
Yeah.
And usually,
so for the people that are buying it, even if it is a small few, why jack up the price on it?
There's drugs 3 times this price, 10 times this price. This is not like an insane price. If people if you know the drug business, you know that this is not that expensive. In the higher end range, but in the lower higher end range. There's drugs that are $2 million a year.
But you did say if somebody can't afford it, you would give it to them for free.
Absolutely, man. I'm not going to let someone die. I'm not an animal.
In touch with you?
We have a system, man. It's if you don't have insurance, you get it for free right off the bat.
How?
Right off the bat, it's done.
What's the system? How do I get in touch?
65% of our drugs.
I'm Charlie Sheen. I need the drug. How do I get in touch?
I don't think Charlie Sheen has a drug for free.
Yeah. So your doctor prescribes it. Prescription gets sent to our pharmacy. Our pharmacy says, hey, where's the insurance? You say, I don't have any. Fill out this form, and you get the drug. 2/3 of the drug we sell for free. For free. People don't know that. People don't want to know that. Again, a lot of times, if people want an enemy, they're going to get an enemy one way or the other. Yeah. And you can say whatever you want, but it's people who want the enemy, and if I'm the enemy for you, good. I'm happy, man. I'm fulfilling some need in your life.
All right, keep it locked. We got more with Martin Shkreli when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now we have Martin Shkreli in the building. Now, Charlamagne, you keep calling this man a douche.
And then when you was on TMZ, you was acting like more of a douche. You wouldn't answer no questions. Like, why even do the interview if you was...
I'd be happy to answer questions. Look, people start off with me being a douche. I could be a very happy, normal dude, but, the guy asked me right off the bat, he's like, is this a good idea, for you to be insulted? I'm like, I can self-deprecate myself, but don't come at me. I'm not an idiot. Clearly, there's some satire in this video. It's meant to be a mix of satire and a mix of reality.
And you did your own sketch.
So you're not really having goons that you don't really want.
I have goons for real, but let's be, one of them.
You brought your goons up
couple
here with you
of them may be here, but
they should be here then.
Or outside.
Now, what about Bobby Shmurda? Were you really trying to bail out Bobby
I
Shmurda?
would have loved to, and I was in conversations with his attorney a day before I got arrested.
But now you can't do it.
I got plenty of my own business to deal with, and as far as I know, his trial is coming up soon enough. So unfortunately for Bobby, Again, we're talking about injustice in the criminal justice system. This poor guy, I was bailed out, literally spent 3 hours in jail, maybe 4. They got me my own cell. They got me it was like...
Oh, that doesn't happen to everybody.
White glove treatment, roll out the red carpet.
White privilege, basically.
I know.
Or rich privilege.
Whatever it is. But I heard the guys in the cell next door talking GS9. They're like, talking about stabbings and shootings. I'm sitting there like, I want to be in that cell.
Right.
But they're like, no, we're going to keep this guy separate. And I was out in 3 hours. This cat's been in jail a year. Mm-hmm. Jail is supposed to be a temporary spot that you go in and out of while your lawyer gets your ass out of there. You put up some money, something. You don't have to put up much money. One of the amendments of the Constitution, I think it's the 8th Amendment, says the government will not impose unreasonable bail. Mm-hmm. And what they're doing to Bobby is ridiculously unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. And as I've seen it, and I'm an opportunist, I said, look, I can take this guy out of jail. I've got the money. I've got the lawyer, and every lawyer in the country. I can get him out of jail tomorrow. I'll put up the 2. He'll wear a bracelet for me or something.
So why don't you?
It's too late now.
Yeah, I would love for you to do that, but why? What's the reasoning?
2 reasons. It's unfair. The guy shouldn't be in jail. Again, prison is one thing. You get convicted, you do the time. But this man is innocent until proven guilty.
That's a fact.
Basic concept.
Right.
To incarcerate him before the guy's actually convicted and to deny his bail 7 times?
But there's a lot of people in that situation. Why Bobby Shmurda? Because you know it'll bring you attention?
Well, I heard about it.
Okay.
You know, I don't know anyone else in
Right.
that situation. My boy, you know, some of my boys in that video, for instance, were in that situation. I could throw down for them immediately, you know? And I don't know Bobby, but, you know, everyone knows the song, his music. And,
What's the name of it?
Hot.
Hot what?
Hot Boy, I believe.
There you
Hot
go.
Boy.
Correct
Really,
name.
boy?
I believe that's what Billboard.
Yeah, that's what Billboard has.
Yeah, that's right. That's the name of the song.
Could you potentially lose your fortune now with all of the
Hell no.
investigations going on?
Never.
Well, why do you want to be famous? Like I always say, if I had that much money, I wouldn't want nobody to know who I am.
You know, the problem is it just happens one way, whether you like it or not.
Not really. I would have never heard of you if you didn't try to buy the Wu-Tang album, if you didn't jack up the prices
But
for
how do
HIV.
you? Well, I still wanted to buy it. So how do you buy it and be anonymous? It's not easy.
I mean, for Wu-Tang, it's good press for them because they've done something no one's done before. Sold their album as a piece of artwork.
Yes, that's
for
right.
$2 million.
But you haven't even heard it yet.
It's a new thing. Well, no one's heard it.
I heard a little
haven't
bit.
heard it. He
I heard a
owns it.
little. I heard
No,
a
I mean,
little bit.
before you bought it.
No, I would debut it right on here. You know, I mean, I love hip hop. I mean, at this point, hip hop has vastly surpassed rock. They stayed a rock
Without
music
question. It's
in
not
the-
even close.
Rock's in the toilet, and there's not one rock artist I'm excited about. There's like 20, 30 hip. I had Fetty Wap come do my Christmas party. You know,
How much you pay him?
yes, leave that one alone. A good amount, and he was great. You know, the guy killed it. You know,
Well, if you love hip hop, you'd never disrespect Ghostface Killer. I understand you feel like he came at you.
It was a tough decision. I'll be clear. It was a tough decision.
Because it actually will make hip hop people look at you crazy. Like, how dare he talk about you bought this?
Who
their
is this
album.
Yakub's child?
This is Ghostface.
Talking
He's an
crazy to
icon
the god
in hip hop,
Ghostface.
part of Wu-Tang Clan, one of the greatest groups of all time.
He's one of the greatest rappers ever, but he's still a man. He still bleeds the same blood as me. And you want to talk? I'm not the one.
Do you think
That's
you
it.
have Michael Jackson's nose?
No, I got a beautiful nose. He should be one to talk. If he were here right now, I'd smack him right in the face.
No, you wouldn't.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
Absolutely.
Bring the door,
Ghost
bring
is in another room.
You would not smack Ghostface.
Absolutely.
Would you buy his album?
Absolutely. I've all his albums. I got 36 seasons. I got everything.
36 Chambers. The hell is
Seasons,
wrong with you?
seasons.
Oh, yeah. That came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you said
Shut
seasons.
you
Yeah,
right.
that's a Ghostface
Trying to
solo
do.
album.
Now back
No,
to
he's
Donald,
right.
back
He's
to
right.
Donald Trump. Now he called you a young brat.
No,
Spoiled
back to
brat.
that. You will not smack Ghostface Killer.
If you say so, I'll do you that honor.
I'm just saying, Ghostface
Yeah.
got a lot of people that love
He
him.
smack fire out
and
you.
I know you're saying that, but you know, you walk outside,
And
the streets
And
are
Ghost
still the
can fight.
streets.
Ghost
Anybody
can
can
I don't
get
think
it,
you want
Martin.
those problems. You would smack Ghost.
Martin,
Yes.
anybody can get it, Martin.
I know this.
And we're in the midst of this
You
whole
think
Black
they're-
Lives
you think-
Matter thing. Racial tension is at all time high. They'd love to chase you back to the Caucasus Mountains.
Don't make it a race thing. At the end of the day, there's people in my family who've been shot and killed. You know this.
Did you shoot him and kill him?
No.
If not, it doesn't matter. What
So
are
wait, if
talking
you
about?
smack Ghost and he,
All I'm
he
saying
beat you
is
up,
that
would
you're-
that be justified on his part, though?
You can try, man.
Would you call the
Bring it
police on him if he beat you up?
What's that?
Would you call the police on
Hell
Ghost if
no.
he beat you up?
Hell no.
Just say that on camera again.
I would never call the police. It's open season. Come at me. It don't matter.
Papa Wu.
It
Remember
don't
what you did
matter.
to Action Bronson?
And in fact, I think there's a saying y'all familiar with. It's called "I wish you would."
You entitled, privileged prick. Who are
You're
you?
going back to this. I'm telling you, I'm from the streets. You know what? 2009. How much money do you think I had in my bank account? That was 6 years ago.
A couple million.
$100.
Really? Can I borrow $100?
Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow money from you.
Before you got here, you said he was going to ask you for $100,000 and see what happens.
Yeah. You got plenty of your own connections.
I just don't want you to get beat up, man. I mean, I do, but I don't.
It is what it is.
Because
You
you're kind of
know,
causing it on yourself.
Have you gotten beaten up?
never in my life. I fought many times.
So you can fight.
I've been jumped. You know, it is what it is. Most people, when they fight, they don't want to kill another man. You know?
Really? What world are you from?
I've been in many fights in Brooklyn. Like, it's, you knock a guy out. You don't keep wailing on him. You're just like, all right,
No.
now you know.
New era, Martin.
All right, well, we got more with Martin Shkreli when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Follow me and the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We have Martin Shkreli in the building. Now, Donald Trump called you a spoiled brat.
Him.
Kind of agree with him, though.
You know, he inherited, what, $1 million, $100 million? Nobody knows, right?
Right.
And in fact, if you look at the numbers, he actually should be way richer than he is. He's been fucking up, actually. He hasn't made as much money as he could have. All you had to do to be Trump is inherit that money and put it away and just put it in your boys, and you'd be fine. You'd be the richest man in the world. So in fact, he hasn't been a good businessman. He talks way too much. We all know that. And at the end of the day, who's a spoiled brat? I'm sorry, where I come from, that means like, entitled, privileged, etc. No, my first job, I had two choices. I was going to work at Carvel Ice Cream, or I worked at a hedge fund. I was lucky enough to get a job at a hedge fund, but I didn't even have suits to wear to the hedge fund. I didn't know how to dress. Like, it was ridiculous.
You were the Baruch, right?
Yeah.
So you had $100 in 2009. How'd you get your first million?
I started a drug company called Retrophin. It was the fastest growing drug company probably ever.
How did that happen? How do you just start your own drug company?
It's starting a drug company is close to impossible because you need hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. So how did you do it?
Go to investors like your boys.
You got
That's the company now that you actually, with the securities for a charges, got arrested.
There's
for.
a little bit involvement there, correct?
Are you scared to go to jail?
No, I'm not scared of anything in life.
There's a lot of Wu-Tang fans in jail. You heard about what happened to Kanye West, right?
You're talking about Amber Rose?
Yeah.
She can do that day, right?
When you get to jail.
That's in plain daylight. Andre Rose.
You're a real rich guy. So what's the craziest thing that you've done? Because we all seen Wolf of Wall Street. What's the craziest thing that you bought and the craziest thing that you've done?
Dude, I'm a regular guy.
No, you're not. You bought an album for $2 million.
I did that to show that I care about art, and that today there's all this wealth, right? There's all this crazy wealth. Kanye was here. All he could talk about was billionaires, and I felt the same way you did. Like, why are you all about the money? Dude?
Yeah.
$2 million. That was a waste of money.
Well, I wouldn't say a waste of money if you're a Wu-Tang fan.
Is it an investment or something that you think would be worth more later?
You're going to lose money on this. I knew that going into it. The point is I wanted to show respect for art. So buying that album is the most ridiculous thing I've done. But other than that, man, I'm a normal guy. Like, I webcast, as you may know. I webcast my day.
Right.
I sit there and eat a bagel. Last night I ate rice-a-roni. I'm not eating there. I'm not having a waiter put the lobster on. Like, I'm a normal dude. The money's stacking up. That's great. I hope it keeps stacking up. Oh.
Were you upset that you didn't get the response you thought you would get from the guys from the Wu-Tang?
This is exactly what I wanted. This is playing into my hand, and what happens next, you'll see.
So basically, this is just stunting. This is white people stunting. That's what it was. It's white people stunting.
We buy jewelry.
You bought a $2 million Wu-Tang.
Basically. There you go.
No, I'm thinking about getting. I have a Jacob. I've got.
You got a what? Jacob what?
I bought Killer Mike's Jacob.
Killer Mike wears a Jacob watch?
I bought his.
Not anymore.
That's what I'm
I snatched his watch.
Let me ask you a question. What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
The movement itself, at the moment, as you know, I'm involved in a lot of stuff. I got to figure that out. So, at the end of the day, I would love to do some stuff for Flint. I would love to do some stuff for everything. But as you can imagine, after you're arrested, your life changes.
So are your assets frozen right now?
No. But at the end of the day, it's crazy.
But you have resources. If you spend $2 million on an album, you can spend money.
Will you tell me what you think I should do?
I think you should donate some money to the activists, like the D-Rays of the world, the Nettas, because they go around traveling, and a lot of times they just need funding just to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm interested in doing that. At the end of the day, right now, there's ODB used to say this. I'm all about me right now, and people come and try to troll me. I just say that, and at the end of the day, there's sometimes you got to focus on yourself. And for now, I'm in so much that I gotta do that. And obviously, but the movement spoke to me. I just, my world has been so crazy that I can't.
You can always just write a 6-figure check to See the God World LLC, and I'll donate.
I was about to do it.
I'll donate the funds
until you laugh. You f***ed it up, Envy.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure.
I still don't know how I feel about you. You still have a very douchey air about you.
All right.
But I like the fact you came from nothing and made something happen, especially that you only had $100 back in 2000.
You said your mom is still a janitor to this day?
Yeah, you said that. You have enough money where
you still got your mom being a janitor? Oh, she won't. Okay, I get it.
I beg her every day. She doesn't understand the money in markets and things like this. I'm going to work for you guys, and that's it. It's a great mom.
All right.
And Ghostface is going to smack you.
We'll see, man. Bring it. I wish he would.
Wish he would.
The leader of the Douche-Tang clan, the Dizzle, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Shkreli.
Shkreli.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Charlotte Magny.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlemagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey. Hee-haw. Okay.
Donkey of the Day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Donkey today goes to 56-year-old David Grisham of Dallas, Texas. Now, David is a leader of a religious fundamentalist group called Repent Amarillo. Now, according to the Dallas Morning News, all right, Pastor David is also the fun police. Okay, he is the guy that will see you having a drink, see you smoking some marijuana, and tell you why you're not going to get in the kingdom of heaven because of it, okay? Old Sharif and Minister Society head pastor, okay? Old sitting on this cooler to keep you fools from drinking this poison head ass. Well, in case you haven't noticed, this is the season. Christmas is right around the corner, and David Grisham decided to take his fun policing to the mall. Why did the fun police decide to raid the mall, you ask? Well, he decided to go and tell kids the true meaning of Christmas. He went and told the kids something they should only be discussing with their parents or something they should find out on their own. Let's hear it.
Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell you today that there is no such thing as Santa Claus.
What?
Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus. The man you're going to see today is just a man in a suit dressed up like Santa, but Santa does not exist. And parents, y'all need to stop lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus is real when in fact he's not.
Envy is devastated because he had no idea.
Now, let's be clear. I agree with everything David Grisham said, okay? I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, never celebrated holidays. My wife is all into Christmas, so yes, we celebrated in my house, but won't no fat white man get no credit for all my hard work.
Santa's real.
Okay? My daughter is fully aware that Santa Claus ain't real, and she's
Santa is real.
All right? But daddy and mama's work ethic is real. I do agree that, you know, when you tell kids about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, God and Jesus, and then turn around and tell them all the other entities are fake, but God and Jesus are real, your kid has no reason to believe you. Oh, word, Pops. Oh, word, Moms. All the characters of my childhood are a lie, but God and Jesus real. Oh, word. Santa Claus fake, but God real. And by the way, when your kids find out wrestling fake too, man, please. Okay? You catch hell trying to convince them God real. But David, Pastor David, let kids have their fun. Leave people the hell alone. I am all about telling people the truth, but sometimes you got to let people live their lie. All right, going to see Santa Claus is just a family outing. It's not church. I don't need no preaching. No scriptures need to be said while I'm in line with my kid to see Santa Claus. Not to mention, now I have to have an uncomfortable, impromptu conversation about whether or not Santa Claus is real. How dare you, David Grisham, steal my kid's joy? You are the pastor that stole Christmas. Play David one more time for the people one time, man. Play David.
And Santa is real.
Shut up.
Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell you today that there is no such thing as Santa Claus.
Lie.
Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus. The man you're going to see today is just a man in a suit dressed up like Santa, but Santa does not exist. And parents, y'all need to stop lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus is real when in fact he's not.
Well, the kids listening now, they
That's a lie.
now
No.
know too.
No, that's a lie. Santa is real.
Leave people the hell alone, David. How would you feel if somebody ran up on you and told you Jesus not real? Imagine you're a pastor. Imagine somebody walked up in your church, your congregation, telling your congregation that Jesus not real. What if they walked in your church and told you that Jesus never walked on water, that he never turned water into wine, that he was never the Son of God because he didn't exist? How would that make you feel, David? Whoa, what if somebody walked into your church and told your congregation in Dallas, Texas, that Jesus was real, but he was really black? Whoa, you've been lying to your congregation, David. Got a picture of a white Jesus in your church. What if somebody walked into your congregation and pointed at that pic of white Jesus and said, that is a lie? Jesus is black. He was a carpenter. And Yeezy laid beats. Overflow the Holy Ghost. Get the hell up out your seats. Preach. How would that make you feel, David? Look, this story reminds me of a great quote I love listening to. The quote is, I love listening to lies when I know the truth. This is how all kids should feel about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, wrestling. But it's nobody's place to tell you Santa doesn't exist except your parents, or it's just something you simply grow out of. Mind your business, fun police David Grisham. Please give him the sweet sounds of the Hamiltones one time.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Hee-haw.
Santa is real. To all the kids listening, don't listen to Uncle Charlotte. He was joking. Santa is absolutely positively real. And make sure, kids, if you're good and your grades are good and you do the right thing, Santa will leave a bunch of gifts under the Christmas tree.
What if you're naughty and you still get gifts? What does that mean?
Well, I don't know what that means,
You
but
buck the system.
Santa is real.
You ain't never seen a reindeer in real life, but you gonna tell your kids this flying reindeer out there.
And there's the elves on the shelves are real. They move
What if you don't have a
magically
chimney?
every
Rudolph
night.
did cocaine. That's why his nose was always red.
The Breakfast Club.
MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you have kids in the car, we're talking Santa, so you might want to lower the volume a little bit. So Charlamagne believes in telling kids that there is no Santa. He wants to be the fun police.
That's not true. I gave Donkey of the Day to this pastor named David Grisham in Texas because he walked into a mall and did this.
Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell you today that there is no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus. The man you're going to see today is just a man in a suit dressed up like Santa, but Santa does not exist. And parents, y'all need to stop lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus is real when in fact he's not.
Yeah, but then out of it, you told everybody how there was no Santa. So you
No,
did the same thing.
I agree with David, but I feel like the conversations about Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny are conversations that should come from the parents. The same way you should have sex conversations with your kids. Nobody else should be having those conversations with your children. You should be the first to tell them Santa Claus doesn't exist.
I think you feel like that because you didn't believe in Santa as a kid, man.
I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
See, that's the reason you feel that way.
I
There
didn't
was no
celebrate
magic
holidays
in your life.
I mean, I do now because, my wife is into Christmas and my daughters are into it, but my daughter is fully aware that there's no fat white man coming down no chimney because we don't got no damn chimney, okay? Oh, we do have a chimney, actually. But there's no fat white man who is giving us gifts.
Well, my kids believe that there's a Santa Claus. They will believe until somebody tells them any different. The smile of their face that they really believe that a magical guy came down the chimney and reindeers came and they leave and make cookies for them and leave milk. And just to see the smiles on their faces, they're going to believe until
all
they
want is gifts. When did you find out that Santa
My
wasn't real?
parents never made me think Santa was real. It was never a question. I always knew it was fake.
See, that's real. But you had fun, though.
I mean, I never...
She never been to Disney World. Her parents didn't love her at all.
Santa was never part of the equation. I just would tell my parents what I want.
See?
And sometimes I would get it.
That's not fun.
And sometimes I didn't, but they never made me say, oh, look what Santa
So
left.
you never got up in the middle of the night and seeing if Santa was there?
We were allowed to open our gifts at midnight,
horrible.
and we would stay up late to open our gifts, but I knew they were from my parents.
You
we would
guys-
sit there.
You know what's not fun? Being from a poor and disenfranchised community and being a parent that can't afford your kids gifts. So you got your kids believing this lie and they write out this Christmas list and can't get nothing on that list because the parents can't afford it. Then
We
what
never
type of
even
Santa
made a
Claus
list.
you
I was
believe
allowed
in?
to pick one thing I wanted every
Well,
year.
there you go, one thing. See, we had Christmas in Queens.
I'm poor and disenfranchised. I can't get nothing.
I was
Okay?
allowed to pick one thing.
Well, you
wanna
can pick
know
one thing.
You want to know the real meaning of Christmas, kids? This is the true story. Rudolph did cocaine. That's why his nose was always red. The elves were all illegal Mexicans that Donald Trump wants deported. And Santa Claus is an OG blood. And the reason he's never visited you is because he doesn't come to Crip neighborhoods. That's why he wears all red.
All right,
and if
shut
you
up.
want him to come to your hood, call him
Shut up.
Santa Bloss.
Shut up. Hello, who's this?
Natalie.
Hey, Natalie. You have a 10-year-old?
Yes, sir.
They believe in Santa?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it such a magical thing?
Why you calling him sir? You see them grades coming in on
Shut
him?
up.
Oh, yeah, her grades is A1. Her grades is A1.
You said what?
I said her grades is A1.
No, not about her grade. No, he said, never mind. Why do your kids still believe in Santa?
Because I used to believe in Santa until they got spoiled for me. It's like a tradition.
Isn't it so magical and so nice?
Yeah, you keep the innocence alive, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually you got to tell them the truth. But, you know, until she doesn't believe it anymore, why spoil it?
Exactly. Thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Sean?
Hey, Sean. Now, you got a 12-year-old that still believes in Santa?
Yeah, he does. And I want to tell him there's no Santa. His dad said no, let him just figure it out.
Yeah, let him figure it out. Let that whole run downstairs, or if you live in an apartment, run to the room to see that Christmas tree. That's magical. Believing in Santa and the elf on the shelf moving.
I don't see what's the difference, though. Like, what's the difference between telling your kids you bought the gifts and Santa bought them? Like, why give somebody else the credit for your hard work?
I kind of agree with that. My biggest concern is that he'll be 13 in March. I don't want him going to school after Christmas break telling all his little homies what Santa got him for Christmas, and they clown him. And they
That's
clown
right.
him.
And I'm sure the other kids told him Santa's not real.
Right.
You gonna get your boy beat up. Your boy go to school talking about he's 13 years old talking about Santa Claus. You gonna get his ass kicked. Okay.
Stop it.
My daughter believed it until she was 13 as well. But let me tell you what you do. Where do you live?
Detroit.
All right, this is what you do. You go inside.
Santa Claus ain't been to Detroit in years.
Shut up.
Why Santa Claus took mommy and daddy job then when the car company shut down?
Shut up.
Oh, stop
Santa ain't bring back the car companies yet.
What you do
They
is-
back. Detroit
you
way
do is-
nicer now.
You know, you get a neighbor to ring your doorbell, and everybody's gonna look at each other and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's Santa!" And then let the kid run to the door, and he's really gonna believe it's Santa. That's gonna give you a little extra time.
Okay.
All right.
I like
And
it.
listen,
I like it.
Serious question. How can you properly teach racism in your house if you got your kids believing in a white Santa Claus?
Shut up, man. 800
Santa Claus is a black man.
1051. Do your kids believe in Santa? When will you tell them there is no Santa, or will you just let his friends in school tell them? Call us up now. It's the Breakfast Club. Come on. Talking Santa this morning, so if you got little kids in the car, you might want to turn it down a little bit. Now, Charlamagne gave Donkey of the Day to who, Charlamagne?
This pastor named David Grisham. He walked into a mall and did this.
Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell you today that there is no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus. The man you're going to see today is just a man in a suit dressed up like Santa, but Santa does not exist. And parents, y'all need to stop lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus is real when in fact he's not.
Now, don't get me wrong. I totally agree with a lot of the things David Grisham says. I feel like if you tell your kids about the Easter Bunny and Santa and the Tooth Fairy and God and Jesus at the same time, and then tell them all those other characters are fake, then try to tell them God and Jesus is real, they be looking at you like, why should I believe you? But I don't think it's his place to be telling those kids that Santa ain't real. That's something a parent should be doing.
Well, the kids are going to find out in school at some point.
Well, let them
The other
find
kids
out,
don't.
man. It's like the whole thing about Christmas and believing in something. It's just that whole magic, and you're waiting for Christmas.
Why
It's
can't you
wacky.
believe in your parents?
Yeah, there you go. I need my kids to believe in me. And
But my kids believe in me regardless.
some of y'all got y'all kids believing in Santa Claus, but the jig is up when your kid catch you showing Santa what that mouth do though when daddy not home. Oh, mommy, that's why I didn't get what I want for Christmas, because your head game is
And then you're going to want
trash.
some strange people buying your kids presents?
What's wrong with y'all? Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Eric from Houston.
Hey, man, what do you think about Santa and the kids, bro?
Man, I think it is definitely up to the parents to make sure that kids understand the importance of Christmas and the true meaning. But definitely, I think it's wrong for anybody to take upon themselves to try to ruin the experience for another person's child.
All right,
I
I agree with you.
understand what he meant, but it's definitely wrong to try to ruin that experience. Our 10-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son both know the true meanings. Now, my daughter, she's getting to that stage where she's kind of thinking maybe it's not as real as we think, but they still enjoy the experience. The elf on the shelf and things like that, it's fun. It's a
fun
fun
for the
thing to
kids.
do, but it's for parents.
Donald Trump gonna deport that elf as soon as he find out them elves from Mexico.
One day your kids will tell you, you know Santa's not real, right? It's enough. The
What?
gig is up. And I just want to say one final thing about Christmas and Santa and all of that. The other problem was that I always used to find my present before my parents wrapped it. I would always search the house and find me and my brother.
nosy ass little kid.
would
You was a
both-
nosy.
Y'all didn't find your gifts before?
How many times you catch your parents having sex all the time?
None.
Yeah,
ever.
right.
They probably wasn't.
Oh.
But I'm telling you, me and my brother would always find our presents, and we would know what they were, and be like, "Oh, see what I got." And sometimes they were wrapped already, and we would unwrap them and then wrap them back.
Y'all are
You
nosy.
never did that?
No.
I was grew up
My
a Jehovah's
parents
Witness.
always hid in the car.
So you knew where it was.
I mean, but I wasn't going out there by myself, or the basement, which was dark and just scary. I wasn't going
There's
down there.
people listening to this saying, y'all was some privileged people. Your parents had cars and basements? like Jesus Christ.
A lot of people's parents have cars.
Listen, the moral of the story.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
It doesn't
sense.
make
How
no
do you get
sense.
places?
The moral of the story is, I love listening to lies when I know the truth. Tell your kids the true meaning of Christmas, okay? Let them know that Rudolph did cocaine. That's why his nose was always red. Let them know the elves were all illegal Mexicans that Donald Trump once deported. Let them know that Santa Claus is an OG blood, and the reason he's never visited you is because y'all live in a Crip neighborhood, and he doesn't visit anybody who doesn't call him Santa Claus.
My goodness.
Amen.
All right, the moral of the story is let those kids enjoy Christmas, enjoy the holidays, and there's nothing magical, nothing better than that kid's smile, that kid's face, that kid's so happy believing that Santa's there dropping off them gifts.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?